The sharp pop of exploding tires shattered the quiet of a Saturday morning, a sound that still haunts me. I bolted to the window of my ranch house, heart pounding, just in time to see a glossy black SUV lurch to a stop on my eastern trailer trail marked with private property. No entry signs at both ends. Smoke poured from the front tire, then another hissed and burst, followed by a third. 3 tires shredded in seconds. The driver's door flew open, and out stepped her. Vanessa, the HOA's self-appointed queen, a woman I'd warned, fined, and begged to stop using my land as her personal shortcut. She'd claimed some absurd HOA emergency authority to access any property she pleased, even sneering at my wife, Claire, that our ranch looked too wild and needed HOA-approved landscaping. Now, Vanessa stood in my field, face flushed, arms flailing, screaming like she'd been ambushed instead of caught trespassing. Her tires were mangled, victims of the steel anti-vehicle spikes I'd buried beneath the grass, camouflaged, legal, and my last resort after months of her defiance. She didn't know about them yet. Dropping to her knees, she shrieked into the open field, fumbling for her phone, likely to call the cops. I stepped onto my porch, whistled sharply, and my dogs barked from the stables, the air thick with tension. Vanessa hadn't spotted me. I hadn't even told Claire about the spikes. But now it was happening, and the question loomed. Would this end Vanessa's HOA tyranny, or ignite a war? Let me tell you how it all began. I'm Jake, a 46-year-old ex-Marine who bought this 40-acre Colorado ranch 2 years ago, craving peace after years of service. Nestled near the mountains, my land was my sanctuary, deliberately outside the HOA's grasp. I checked the deeds twice before signing. But the HOA didn't respect boundaries. It started small flyers in my mailbox, strangers walking dogs across my pastures, even a teenager fishing in my pond. His father, an HOA board member, shrugged. "We thought your land was community property." That was my first warning. Then I met Vanessa. She lived in a gated mansion, her BMW always gleaming, for security cameras guarding her driveway. Vanessa strutted like she owned the town, and as head of the HOA's oversight committee, she practically did. Our first clash came when she barreled down my dirt trail in her SUV. I flagged her down, saying, "Ma'am, this is private land. The road's not for public use." She smirked, waving a printed sheet. "HOA rules say all serviceable roads are open during community improvement season." Nonsense. I stayed calm, posted bigger signs, added solar lights. She ignored them, driving through daily, even waving smugly once as she passed my workshop. I installed chain gates. 2 days later, they were cut. My cameras didn't catch her, but I knew. The sheriff took notes, but said without proof, it was a gray area. Thicker chains, welded locks gut again. That's when I decided Vanessa would stop herself. After consulting lawyers and studying property laws, I learned I could install vehicle deterrents on my land. I buried military-grade retractable spikes under the trail, small warning signs posted nearby. For 3 weeks, silence. I thought Vanessa had backed off. Then came that Saturday boom. Her SUV smoked in my field, and as she dialed her phone, another vehicle rolled in, a silver HOA car with an emblem. I shouted, "Stop! Turn back!" Too late. Pop clunk. 2 more tires blown. The driver, a balding man named Greg, stepped out, squinting at the signs he'd missed. Vanessa charged him, screaming, "He set traps. Arrest him." I kept my cool. "This is private land. You're trespassing. The signs are legal." Greg apologized, admitting he was just following Vanessa's orders. She spun on him, then on me, vowing, "This is war." As she filmed a dramatic video, limping around her ruined tires, narrating, "This man tried to kill me." The sheriff arrived, reviewed my footage, and confirmed my rights. Vanessa's jaw dropped when they suggested she was lucky I didn't press charges. Humiliated, she stormed off. I thought it was over. 2 days later, a stake stood near my stables, holding a charred copy of my sign and a note in red marker, "If the HOA can't stop you, fire will." Claire paled. My stomach churned. This wasn't just trespassing, it was a threat. The sheriff logged it as criminal intimidation, noting other HOA-related complaints in the area. That night, I heard clicks near the fence. Grabbing my dog, Scout, I crept out and caught 2 men cutting my barbed wire, whispering about gasoline. I filmed them, fired a warning shot, and called the sheriff. They were arrested, one confessing Vanessa had sent them to teach me a lesson. The case turned federal arson. Neighbors rallied at my gate, holding signs like "No more HOA tyranny." Vanessa, undeterred, arrived with a lawyer, threatening a lawsuit for emotional distress. At the town meeting, I played my footage, the men, the gasoline, her name. The room gasped. Neighbors shared their own HOA horror story finds for fence colors, banned lemonade stands. Vanessa was suspended, escorted out in tears. But the sheriff found more, gasoline cans and HOA war plans in her garage. She wasn't alone. Enter Victor Steele, the HOA treasurer, a quiet schemer who tried to claim my land for shared access in a rejected easement. Vanessa's antics were part of his land grab. Then it escalated. A box appeared on my porch at cow's ear and a photo of my prize bull, Titan, with a note. Next, we take your herd. Titan was gone, his pins lock cleanly removed. I followed truck tracks to an old quarry barn, where I filmed 2 HOA men spray painting HOA property on Titan. I live streamed it all, titled, "They Stole My Bull." It went viral. The men were arrested, Titan returned, and a warrant issued for Victor, who'd fled. The HOA dissolved after a 72% vote, and neighbors threw a barbecue on my ranch, toasting freedom. But a court summons arrived from Victor, suing me for $750,000 for defamation. I countered with a $1.2 million suit, backed by 30 affidavits from HOA victims. In court, we showed footage, bank transfers, and Victor's forged maps. The judge dismissed his case, awarded me $1.2 million, and praised my fight for peace. I vowed to rebuild my ranch and fund others against corrupt HOAs. A kid visited, inspired after his family lost their home to HOA fines. I let him feed Titan, telling him this land was a symbol, draw a line, and dare the bullies to cross. But as I stood under the stars, I knew the fight wasn't over. Someone else was out there, watching, waiting to strike my ranch next.